ANC to hold crisis talks over cabinet deadlocks with DA as Zuma's MK party awaits in the wings. The ANC's National Executive Committee is expected to meet this weekend to discuss the deadlock with the Democratic Alliance DA over cabinet positions. A senior ANC insider has confirmed the meeting, saying there is frantic attempts to cool down tempers following the DA's list of demands. From the beginning, we were not happy with this coalition with the DA, and now it's worse that after their demands of cabinet positions, so it was decided we have to meet before any decisions are taken. We wanted to be consulted before any pronouncements are made in light of the DA's demands, which many of us felt was very entitled, the source told IOL. The deadlock with the DA centers around what the DA says was agreed on and accusations that the ANC is now reneging on it. Key to the dispute is the ministerial head of trade, industry and competition, which the DA claims it was promised. Instead, it says President Cyril Ramaphosa has backtracked and is offering the DA to tourism portfolio instead. The about turn has led to anger within the DA, prompting many to call for the party to walk away. The DA would have brought stability and greater oversight. The ANC acted in bad faith by not keeping to its words, so we are happy to walk away and continue sitting on the opposition benches as we've done for the past 30 years, a senior DA source said. But Ramaphosa should then not expect any protection from us when there is a vote of no confidence in him or when the Pala matters is raised, the source added. With the GNU on the brink of collapse, the Umkhonto Wesizwe Party MK has been circling at a close distance. You see, we warned about this, but it's fine. We are here, still prepared to talk to the ANC. At the end of the day, our policies are the same. We want the same things for the people. We are already talking to Gauteng, which is why they haven't pronounced on their cabinet yet. Our message to the ANC is not to be afraid. Don't be bullied by the DA. Let's talk, MK senior official Muzi Nchingi last told IOL. Ramaphosa is said to be caught between trying to broker a deal with the DA to protect the market on the one hand and to calm the anger within the party over its decision to co-opt the DA on the other hand. We are in a polar state. SA Foundation, including Thabo Mbeki Foundation, call for national dialogue to unite the nation. The Thabo Mbeki Foundation, in joint efforts with other foundations, mainly those founded by struggle heroes, including the Ahmed Kathrada, Steve Biko, Robert Sobukwe, and Oliver Tambo Foundations, through a national dialogue are calling for South Africans to unite to address matters affecting the nation. We, the foundation that are signatories hereto, founded on the legacies of eminent South Africa freedom fighters whose values and examples laid the foundation for building a non-racial, non-sexist, egalitarian and democratic society, call upon the people of South Africa to join in the national dialogue to reorientate the direction of our nation, they said. The organization stressed how the call was important during a media briefing held in Johannesburg on Thursday. Reading out the statement on behalf of the foundations, Nkosinathi Biko from the Steve Biko Foundation told the media that the purpose of national dialogue was to develop a common vision and collectively intervene to bolster substantive, democratic and reorientate the nation to their deferred dream. Biko said the country has found itself on a dangerous and uncertain path, a directionless corruption of the body politic that has led to the current state of paralysis in social, economic, political, and governance spheres and national despair. The current parlor state of economic growth collapsed with whispered crime and corruption, poverty, gross inequality, and intractable unemployment have earned our nation a dishonorable place on many global indices. This poor performance is corroborated by the lived reality of the majority of citizens whose experience has rendered us the protest capital of the world. Such a ticking time bomb must be disarmed through a more responsive democracy, he said. He said that it was time for the citizens to take part in paving a new way forward. We call on all citizens to engage in defining a clear vision and establishing a unifying program that inspires new national hope. Out of this reflection must arise a renewed commitment and constitutional democracy and the urgency to improve the material conditions of those left behind, he said. Because said the 2024 elections have highlighted some of the ever-deepening fissures that exist in the society. According to Biko, they manifested, among others, in the huge gap between rich and poor, urban and rural, inadequate governance, and collapsing health and educational institutions. There exists a palpable sense of despair, hopelessness, and general despondency. This feeling in society has been on the ascendancy for more than a decade and threatens to reverse the gains of our hard-fought democracy, he said. He welcomed President Cyril Ramaphosa's call to the national dialogue on the country's future. Although they could not dwell much on the Government of National Unity (GNU), the foundation said they hoped for the best possible outcome for the country's future. Biko further said the foundation will approach the government through the presidency as well as other stakeholders in civil society and business to ensure that the dialogue is resourced and supported. Do we even need the cabinet ministers? Professor Molepo says state running well with presidents supported by directors general. As South Africans eagerly await the announcement of cabinet members to lead the 7th administration, the work of the government continues, led by President Cyril Ramaphosa and supported by directors general across government departments. In the general elections held on May 29th, the ANC received its worst election results since the end of the apartheid 30 years ago in South Africa. The party garnered 40% of the vote, resulting in the loss of its absolute majority in parliament. IOL last week reported that Ramaphosa had officially begun his second term after his party formed a government on national unity (GNU), which includes its long-standing rival, the Democratic Alliance (DA), along with other smaller parties such as the Inkatha Freedom Party (IFP) and the Patriotic Alliance (PA). In an interview with IOL on Thursday, Associate Professor John Malepo from Northwest University stated that the government machinery continues to operate smoothly ahead of the appointment of cabinet ministers. The directors general are actually the ones who do everything in government. It is just that the ministers provide political directions, but the DGs, director generals, are the ones doing everything. Even when ministers are going to cabinet meetings, they normally go with the DGs to assist them there, said Molepo. The relationship between the DG and the president is important, particularly at this juncture. Maybe we should have a debate in South Africa regarding the bloated ministers that we have. The president can work with the directors general and that can make us save on costs. But this is something we're not ready for in South Africa because we still need political accountability, he said. Molepo commented on the delays in appointing the cabinet following Ramaphosa's recent swearing-in, noting that the coalition negotiations or forming a government of national unity in other democracies often require a longer period. Earlier on Thursday, IOL reported that the SA Communist Party SSCP has condemned the Democratic Alliance's initial list of desired posts in the Government of National Unity. The SSCP urged President Cyril Ramaphosa must go ahead and appoint his executive with or without the Blue Party. On Monday, IOL reported that as parties invited by the DA-ANC into the GNU put forward their demands in the power-sharing arrangement, the DA demanded 12 cabinet posts in the Government of National Unity. On Thursday, IOL reported that in a recent communication to Ramaphosa, Democratic Alliance leader John Steenhuisen has outlined the party's revised stance on cabinet positions in the GNU government. According to Steenhuisen, the DA has been offered 6 cabinet portfolios: Home Affairs, Basic Education, Trade, Industry and Competition (DTIC), Public Works and Infrastructure, Communications and Digital Technologies, and Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment. Additionally, the party has been offered deputy ministerial positions in finance with full cabinet committee rights, energy and electricity, small business development, and one other to be determined. DA's Richard Newton and several other sources confirmed to IOL that the letter to Ramaphosa was authentic. And that's it from Egypt's network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.